Production.
What's poppin'? It's been a while. No chart on this video, so you guys are just gonna hear me yap away. But I wanted to chat about how I pretty much used markets over the past 3 years, and how I used the markets to get my first property. So my first property, it's nothing too serious. It's a pre-built condominium. It's supposed to be done by May 2024, but I guess we'll see how the build goes along like that, right? I want to talk about how I use the markets to get me this property, because I find that a lot of people my age, I'm 25, turning 26 in August. I found that a lot of people my age, I hear this conversation all the time of like, oh, the housing market this, the housing market that. And what I think is so important that people are missing out on is this isn't like the 2000s anymore. It's not like 2010. You could just go work a pretty decent job, save money, and buy a house. Like, that is over. Like, there is no doing that anymore, especially if you come from a family that doesn't have like an abundance of wealth where they pretty much can like co-sign and pay your down payment for you, like your parents or your uncle or some shit like that. It's not like that anymore, right? Like, it's not like how it used to be. So what I think is important is that like we need to learn how to utilize markets to then get us the property and then get us like larger sizable investments. And it's just unfortunate because markets get a bad rap because human psychology gets twisted right into it, where it's the herd mentality. Pretty much you only really hear about stocks or cryptocurrencies when they're at the absolute highest price. And when they are at that price, there's been months, if not years, of accumulation of people purchasing at lower prices. So once you're hearing about it, that's when people are likely taking gains and like selling off their profits to buy the properties, to buy the other investments. So I'm making this video because I want to share with you guys the importance of learning markets, right? I'm not going to pull up a chart on you guys, but just for plain sake, college, I was like 17, I started learning about the charts. Through learning about the charts, I started to understand price and understand how stocks move. That helps a lot. You know what I mean? Like, that gave me a foundation of confidence to like understand what I'm looking at, right? The average person, when they look at a stock chart, they're like, what the heck is this? I have no idea when to buy, when to sell, what I'm doing. I started off with looking at the charts, and that helped me get a very confident foundation on what I'm looking at. Through that, I just literally started with like $500. Like, you don't have to start with, whoever's telling you right now that you got to start off with thousands, they haven't even started. Like, bun that, or their grandpa gave them like 20K to start with, and like, oh yeah, I turned it in, whatever. That's not true. That $500, like, I look back in hindsight, it's one of the greatest decisions I made because it helped me get skin in the game, right? Through that 500, I was like, oh wow, this is interesting. I made my first like 30% play. From there, it turns into, okay, since I was analyzing the markets for so long, the 2020 market crash came, and I knew, because from the analyzing through the preparation, the opportunity came, and then I threw in around like 7,000. That 7,000 turned into a lot more, and I'm not going to get into the numbers because that's not the point that I'm getting at. The numbers are going to keep growing whether you believe it or not. The second property's coming, the third one's coming. I'm starting a business. There's other things that are growing now from this because of a small skill that took me, it might have, in hindsight, it took me a while to learn it, but I learned it by myself. But it's worth it. So I'm making this video because I want to encourage you, especially right now when pretty much everyone's too scared to invest. Everyone's too scared to look into stocks, cryptocurrency, and shit like that. I highly encourage you, educate yourself, learn about it. because there could be opportunities that you discover that you wouldn't have had noticed otherwise, if you see what I'm saying. So if you're watching this video, you made it through whatever, that 3-4 minutes, and you're interested in learning markets, reach out to me. I'm currently doing one-on-one calls where I'll go over everything from the technical analysis that I've studied over the past few years, the market psychology that I've learned, and the experiences, both good and bad, that I went through to get me to the first property. And that's gotten me to build a solid community on Discord where I've been mentoring a few people for over a year now, right? So this is something that I plan on making a business. I'm going to be taking one-on-one calls, right? So I'm working on building a website that'll make this whole transition a lot smoother. But in the meantime, while I'm building this website, I will be taking calls on Zoom for a discounted price. So reach out to me if this is something you're interested in. We'll schedule up a time where we're both free, whether it's a weekend or a weeknight, and we'll go from there. But I'm excited because I want to help, right? So I've been doing this for free for years. If this is something you're like, bun, this guy, he's just trying to make money off of me. I post free YouTube videos on all these topics, and I've been doing that for years. I have over 350 videos now, and that's not going to stop either. So appreciate those who have been supporting, and if you're interested, please don't hesitate. Reach out. Easy.